Happy New Year to everybody. It's time for another tutorial, how to kill cruisers. Today I'm playing the Shimakaze in a speed build. As you can see here, I'm using Tanaka with all the speed perks active, especially the force perk and the legendary perk. And I'm also using the blue captain as an inspiration, which will add almost 5% speed. Why do I use the speed? By using blue, you sacrifice about 200 meters concealment if you would use Swirsky instead. So as you can see from the stats screen, the concealment of Shimakaze still is 4.8 kilometer instead of 4.6 kilometer. When it comes to legendary level and tier 7, the best concealment is about 4.5, 4.6 from the Japanese destroyers. As you can see in the stats, we are reaching a base speed of 44.9 knots, which is pretty fast and in between the American and the French DDs. So we can run away from German DDs, we can run away from American DDs, and this is what you want. You can play strategically and you can outmaneuver a lot of cruisers and destroyers. Having said that, welcome to this game. We start at the sea spawn and I'm moving into sea to see how the game develops. And from the game we know there is an Alaska and we have some Yamatos, and you can see the Alaska is divisioned with the Yamatos, so as soon as we spot either of them we're pretty sure the others are around. So I keep on the left hand side because usually people use that big island in front of us to hide behind that. And you see we spotted the legendary ships, so Alaska should be near. And I expect those people to camp at that right corner and at that left corner of that island. So what I want to do is I want to go around the left end of this island and torp whatever is there, because I have 15 torps, and if I get all 15 out in one shot on that corner, nothing is going to survive. But now I see how the game develops and I decide differently, because this Yamato is turning left. And I expect him to continue his turn and move forward. So I send a first set of torpedoes. I would have sent a second if the other Yamato would have continued to move in as well, but it didn't. So now we spot the Gehring here, 4.8 kilometer concealment of ours, so pretty good. And we want to avoid a confrontation, because the Gehring of course will gun us to the ground, so no need to engage him. So now we spotted and we see the Alaska here, surprise surprise. So if you approach a cruiser like that, you need to go bow in to give as limited sight as possible, then make a sharp turn and release a set of torpedoes, and almost in minimum range to activate, so we kill this ship. And yeah, that was the biggest threat of this game, and still we need to maneuver in between that Gehring and that legendary battleship here. But the aim is again not to engage the Gehring, but to kill the battleships over here. So now I'm doing a right turn and continue to monitor how these people will move. By using the aim prediction, you can see if they speed up, if they slow down, and you can have a pretty good guess what is their next move. So you can see this Yamato is probably reversing pretty soon, and the other one, since they are in a division, is going to hang around as well. So they will be static over there. So you can prepare your torpedoes accordingly. So first set out to the reversing other Yamato. And this one obviously is camping next to that island, so we have to get around while we keep torping the second Yamato. So you can play this game on, and these battleships in the back, they're pretty static. They move forward, they move backward. So use a narrow spread, use a wide spread, and don't fire all your torpedoes at a time. Fire them every 30 seconds because reload is 99 seconds. So try to make use of your 5 hard-hitting torpedoes. If you hit 5 of these 24K torpedoes into one of these big ships, usually they are gone. So if you hit 1 or 2, it's fine, and if you hit the next set, you have a guaranteed flood, which will bring down the ship. So what we can see here is we have a flood, and obviously the Yamato did use the damage con just before, and he's gonna flood to death. We continue to the A spawn because we want to capture the A spawn and lots of ships over there. So we don't care for the gearing, we just move on and kill whatever comes into our way. Unfortunately, I'm a little bit too focused on these 2 Yamatos, but I decide to release one last torpedo set widespread in case the second better health Yamato continues. And the first one was repairing, so again we need a flood. And now we come pretty close to this hipper, and again this tutorial is about how to kill cruisers. So we send off one set in the where I think he will move forward again. So we're turning out because he will open fire, turn his back towards him, so we make sure his shot have as limited aim as possible, and we don't want to show broadside until we leave his sonar area. Then we go back and chase him and the battleships, and we will come back to the hipper later. But it's better to fight different targets than a target who already knows you're chasing him. So let's leave the hipper alone for a moment and continue with the battleships in the background who don't expect to be torped. If you had another set of torpedoes ready, you can see from the aim predictor, in about 3-4 seconds would be a perfect moment to shoot a set at the hipper if you had it, because obviously he can't turn further left, so he has to pass the island, and we would definitely kill him. But unfortunately the set comes too late, so that's why we don't aim at the hipper, but we stick with the battleships in the background. You may ask why I don't engage the hipper. The hipper is a big threat to me with his guns, while the battleships are a big threat to my team. And I'm smoking up here, but just for a very short moment, because the Bismarck has a sonar of almost 5 kilometers and you want to move out. It's just a distraction. So let's see what they do with it. I think the hipper is gonna come to the smoke, so let's prepare for that. And still sticking to sink the Bismarck. But if I engage the hipper, there's a chance he kills me, and I want to use this time to kill the battleships before I engage the hipper. So if the hipper kills me, there's no drawback to my team. So I don't want to throw my ship in a suicide drive at this moment before there is any battleship around, especially since there are additional guns. So I'm aiming for a suicide run on the hipper now, because he's dodging all my torps, so I have to get close and personal. But we want to make sure the Bismarck is gone before, otherwise the Bismarck will kill us. So now it's time to do a suicide run. How do you do it? You lay off a set of torpedoes as a distraction, and since I expect the Hippo to turn in a little bit, I shot it to the left of the aim prediction, and I hold my second set and prepare a wide spread. It's narrow enough from that distance, and now I'm just cruising, and I expect his torps incoming, so I'm turning sharply to the right, dodge the torps, and keep shooting while my torpedoes do their work, and that's it for this game. So conclusion is, don't be afraid of cruisers. Make sure you know what you're doing. They are not invincible, and if you have the right approach, you can sink them. The Shimakaze has 11-kilometer torpedoes, even 12.8 if you use the range extender. So you can get close and personal or do distance killing. And that was a pretty good mix of different kills. So I hope you got some ideas and you enjoyed this video. Subscribe to my channel if you like it, and see you out there in another battle. Bye bye, and thanks for watching.